Today, I'm going to teach you 5 tips on how to make your wine commercials more cinematic. So let's get into it.
From the essence of elegance, a new legacy arises. Prestance. Inspired by Prestantia, the Latin beacon of superiority and distinction. Introducing the 2021 Prestance. A masterful blend from Napa Valley. A wine where depth meets velvet mouthfeel, where robust character is crafted with artistry. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Tannat converge in a symphony of unmatched quality. We invite you to experience the pinnacle of winemaking. Experience Prestance.
Right now, what you're seeing looks very beautiful. But how do we achieve this? There's a lot of different things that go into getting to this point right here. As you can see in the camera, this looks really nice where I'm set up everything. And this takes a lot of different foundations of knowledge, but it also takes a lot of patience. The first tip I'm going to teach you guys is set design and how important that is to achieve the look that you're going for. Our set is so important because anybody can really just throw up a black piece of paper and put their bottle on there and light it nicely. Let's start with our background. When my client said they wanted something elegant, we wanted to build these wainscoting paneled backgrounds, but obviously we're not going to take down a whole wall or build a whole brand new thing. So what do? You have to be creative, clever, cost efficient. And so what I did is we just took some foam board, the same things that you can buy at Home Depot for bouncing board or any hardware store. This is installation board, foam board, whatever you want to call it, and we painted it black. Then we went on to Amazon and we got some wainscoting already pre-framed. I measured them out and we painted those black. That is our first step. I put them into 3 panels to allow us to have separation. Next, we'll go over here to our foreground elements. And this is our desk. This is our main center focus piece. The desk, I just went on Facebook Marketplace, found a free desk, but the problem was this desk was brown. So what we did is we took this desk, sanded it and painted it black. Then we wrapped it with a textured black leather here so that it matches the aesthetic and style of our brand. Next, we bought all of these pieces, different decor that are going to be matching something that would be on a desk that are high end, but also the same color as the brand. We're trying to do a monochromatic look here that's elegant. So everything that you see is going to have black, a little bit of gold, and mostly white and black, and that's it. And you need to take the time to practice, plan, and prep these things to create something that's going to look high end like this. The next tip that's extremely important for making your commercials more cinematic is lighting. And I'm gonna dive into lighting wine bottles specifically because they're a whole other ballgame comparatively to a lot of other products. Lighting is actually simpler than you think. It can get very complex, but I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible for you guys. We're gonna break down our lighting into 2 separate categories. One is gonna be your background lighting, and 2 is gonna be your foreground lighting. Again, when you're shooting product commercials, the most important thing is your product. Your lighting should be focused onto your product. And so what are we doing with our background lights and what are we doing with our foreground lights to make sure that our product looks the best that it can? Well, with our foreground lights, the best thing that you can do is to control the highlights on the bottle right here. You wanna make your highlights beautiful, nice, and clean. If you make them with a bunch of spots and it's ugly, then it gets all thrown off and it doesn't look high end. Second thing you wanna think about is you're gonna have your key side and your fill side. Your fill side is gonna be closer to the camera, which is your darker side. Your key side is your brighter side. Same kind of concept that you do for every single product to create depth. Very hard with wine bottles. They're one of the hardest types of products to light because it's a black glass. It's gonna be very reflective. Everything's gonna show up, so you have to control your light. We're making sure that we don't have any hot spots. We have a few, but we're gonna remove those in post because sometimes you have to make those sacrifices. But again, a beautiful key light right here that's nice and soft and highlights our bottle, and then our fill. Everything else for that is just to make sure that the bottle is separated from the background. So when we start to build our background light, what are we doing to build that? We have a hard light coming in here because our background's black and our product is black. But making this hard light come in here not only draws your eyes from back here to your bottle, It also separates your bottle from the background so they don't blend in together. From our background to our product, then you just have your clean foreground lights. For tip number 3, I'm gonna show you guys how to make your shots more dynamic. When thinking about photography comparatively to videography or filmmaking, what you want to think about is movement in your shot. Because if you light everything exactly the same, your camera doesn't move, nothing's happening in the scene, there's no movement, you might as well just take a photo. One of the ways that you can create movement is obviously with camera movement. Another way is with the action of the product, say like pouring the product or anything like that. And the last is for your set or your lighting to be more dynamic and create movement. Now what we're gonna do is a very simple trick, but it adds so much to the shot. All we're gonna do is take this right here and we're gonna block out our key light. With the action of the camera movement, we're just going to slowly reveal our light like so. And that's gonna allow the light to grow onto the bottle, making a more dynamic shot. And you can compare the two right here. Tip number 4 when it comes to making commercials, especially product commercials, is to think outside of the box. No pun intended, right? Again, anybody can light a product and put it on a plain background. It's really what takes your stuff to the next level is taking your concept or your client's product and taking their style and then elevating that with props, with set design, with creating these textures and environments that other people won't do. Because if you follow everybody else, then you're just gonna look like the hundreds of thousands of people that are doing product videos as well. So I found all these black boxes at a home goods store. They're relatively really cheap, and we're just using them to build an environment. We're gonna put the camera top down, and we're just gonna have the camera come in and then pull out like that. And yes, I know that not everybody has a robot, so a lot of you guys could be thinking, well, only your stuff looks good because you have a robot. Trust me, I've seen people use robots and their stuff looks like crap. It's not about that. That is only creating the movement for our shots. It's really all of the elements together. And the most important thing is first your lighting, but then it's gonna be your set design and styling of it. That's gonna up level your stuff. We could literally just place the camera straight over with a C-stand and still get the same effect. That's gonna be a wow factor because we took the time to build this. Tip number 5, get unique perspectives and angles for when you're shooting. Don't always do what everybody else is doing. That's pretty much the theme of this tutorial, is to think outside the box. I know I already said that, but that's how important it is. So our last shot that I'm gonna show you guys for right now is we're gonna use this acrylic base that we built. They're just an acrylic tube with acrylic face right here that we glued together. And we're gonna place it onto the camera like this. We're using a 16mm DZO Vespid Prime for this. This is perfect because we want a wide angle for this. But here's the thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to make this look like the inside of a wine glass. With this wide angle, it's gonna give us this a little bit of a wider distortion on the image. And then what we're gonna do is pour from here and it's gonna look like that this shot is actually in the glass. The next thing that you wanna do, which is kind of unique with this, is a trick. Because we have separation between our lens and our acrylic, the thing is that you're gonna get weird reflections. So what I did is I took a regular cone for your light and I wrapped it in dark duvetine right here. You can use anything that's gonna be a dark material that's not reflective. And we're gonna stick this in right here. That's going to allow us to suction this without having any reflections between our glass and this. This is actually a similar trick that you would use if you want to shoot at a high skyscraper out of a window and show the view. If you don't want any of the reflections behind you, you can take a cone like this and stick it up against the glass wall, and that will reduce your reflections. So this is our shot for this. I'm shooting this on the FreeFly Ember. I'm loving this at 600 frames. And I'm using the small rig V-mount 99 batteries. Love these things. What we did is we took our back wall and we just put it with 2 C-stands up here. And then we're shooting a projector with a gobo in it to create a distance and separation in our shots. And then our diffusions are just on the sides right there, shooting our lights up to make sure that we're lighting the bottle like this. After that, just doing a few tries and trying to hit the side of the bottle, and you get something like this. All right, guys, that is the end of this tutorial. I'm tired. We still have more shots we have to do for this video, but that is the thing, is these things take time if you want to make them look great. You need to spend the time, you need to practice, you need to fail, and then redo it if it doesn't look perfect. That is the trick to making good product commercials. So thanks again, you guys. Please subscribe, like, share, and until next time.